Cleveland is really a reflection of what's going on throughout the country. There's an uptick. As a matter of fact, President Biden has called it a pandemic in and of itself. The homicides, if you add them up every day, the number of people who have died as a result of violence, gun violence in particular, he called it a pandemic, and I happen to agree. And so, as a matter of fact, you look at over the last 30 days, there's been almost 50 what they classified as mass shootings. That's 50. There used to be a time when you had one, and it would be something unusual. Now there's 50 in 30 days or less. And so Cleveland is really a part of this national trend towards violence, particularly violence with guns. And also it is Cleveland, just like all local communities, have to deal with whatever the impact of national and state policies. So as national and state policies are set, then they play themselves out in local community, and we wind up having to deal with them. And around guns in particular. Now, in the midst of all of this going on, whether it's carjacking, robberies, homicides, felonious assaults, all of this stuff, we have police officers who are responding to calls, or they just happen to ride up on an incident in progress. And this almost invariably will result in police use of force, and sometimes deadly force. The question becomes is whether or not that use of force, particularly deadly force, was justified or was it not justified? Example is just recently, there were, in Cleveland, we had a DA officer who was used force, deadly force, and we had a Cleveland police officer use of deadly force in the southeast side of Cleveland. CMHA a few months ago, there was a use of deadly force in one of its public housing estates. So this whole playing out of crime, the uptick of crime, and the violence associated with that, and police interaction with the people is causing a lot of things to happen, not just in Cleveland, but across the nation. Give you an example with Cleveland and the uptick. Last year was a record year for Cleveland in terms of homicides. We are already 12 homicides over where we were at the same time last year, and last year was a record year in terms of homicides. I believe we're at 47 now, and we were at 35 last year, and the year is not half over yet. So that is the magnitude of crime, particularly violent crimes associated with guns in the city of Cleveland. And as I said, really reflecting a mirror of what's going on throughout the country. Another very specific type of crime that is occurring is carjacking. And almost all the time when we have carjacking, we have the use of guns. It's a robbery. If a weapon is involved, it's an aggravated robbery. The chief will tell you about some of the ones that we have solved and the ones that are currently in progress. And we'll be asking for your help and assistance in regards to some outstanding ones that are going on where we have identified some suspects. So he will be talking to you about that.